Hello. For those of you who don't know me already, I'm Susan Napo and I am CEO of Wow Writing Workshop. I want to welcome you to today's webinar, Get a Taste of the College Essay Experience. The session will be great. I'm going to answer your questions. We're going to write a little bit, and I'm also going to tell you about our College Essay Experience training. And at the end, I'm going to share a link to a writing activity that you can do with your students. So, what's up for today? I'm going to share the three secrets, the three keys to effective essay coaching. So it's my goal to make sure you know what you need to do to brainstorm more quickly, review with ease, spend less time on essays, but more effective time, get better results, manage parent expectations, and take control. So today's a bit different from our usual pro chats, which will start again next month. We're usually busy giving away so much free stuff, we sometimes forget to tell you how to get the real value out of our tips and resources. We're here for an hour. The session is being recorded, so watch your email for the link and feel free to share it. So I'd ask you to put away your phone, close your browser links, any tabs you have open. You don't want to miss this. So I received hundreds of questions from folks who register for today's webinar, and I'm going to do my best to answer as many as possible. If you feel like I didn't address yours, I invite you to reach out afterwards. I answer all the emails I receive. We have a contact form on our website. You're welcome to reach out, but I think I should be able to answer all the questions. Let's see if I can do it. So, the old approach. It involves grabbing tip sheets at conferences, posting questions on message boards, using essay review services that don't always align with your values. It means pulling your hair out when things don't go right. It doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong. It just means it's not as intentional as it could be. And when it works, fabulous. But when it doesn't, how do you regroup? And the old approach leads to the same old results. Does any of this sound familiar? Stress, parents who second guess your expertise, students who doubt themselves. We had plenty of those. Endless editing, and not being sure when the essay is done. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Now, be honest, who would not like these feelings and experiences? Who doesn't want to feel calm and confident, have parents who trust you, have reliable timing, and a feeling of control? So here's how you get it. It's process plus platform. Today, I'm recommending a new approach, either brand new to you or to supplement what you are already doing well. We have time-saving technology I want to share with you, a streamlined process, proven expertise, templated communications, and decision-making tools. No more guessing. So you may have heard me talking about our approach on pro chats, at conferences, and our college essay, other events that we do, but to really get the most from those other resources, you need to make more of a commitment and an investment. To really make the WOW method work, you have to dig a little deeper. So that's what today is all about. So yes, I'm going to tell you up front, I will try to sell you something, but not without also teaching you something important. So more than 16 years ago, 17 years ago now, back in September 2009, when I started this business with my friend Kim Lifton, we were like many of you. We were the writers down the street. Our kids we had young children at the time. Our babysitters were applying to college. Now all three of my children have graduated from college. So it's been a long, long time. I'm an instructional designer. I'm a learning expert. And my partner Kim, who retired last December, is a journalist. So we don't do anything halfway. We learned everything we could and developed rock solid instruction. So today, what's different, 17 years later almost, I'm speaking everywhere. I'm on podcasts and webinars in person. Our opinion is valued. We have a team of coaches who are the best essay coaching trainers in the business. We get calls and emails asking us to help solve problems for IECs, for school counselors, for tutors, for others who work with students. We've written books. We work with students all over the world. Our materials are included in the Access Companion to Common App, free resources. Our partners membership program is thriving. And all the combination of our process and our technology platform cannot be beat. And what is at the core of all this growth and trust? 10 steps. a rock solid 10-step process and the best training in the business. That training is called the College Essay Experience. There's nothing like it anywhere. But before I explain how CEE works, I want to tell you what we tried first, because a lot of you have tried this, and I want to help you shortcut, not do make all the mistakes we did. Years ago, we tried selling our 10-step process, but the pros who used it told us nothing changed. We were doing what everyone else was doing. We said, here's what works for me. You can do it too, but without instructions. We gave our colleagues the tools, but we didn't explain why they worked or what to do if things didn't go as planned. So to make things work better, we started taking counselors through the essay writing process, and light bulbs started going off for them. Now, many of you asked a variation on this question. How can I customize rather than copy your process, the WOW process, to fit my practice? I'm glad you asked, because here's the magic. Whether you apply some of what you learned from us or all of it, writing the essay is always a breakthrough. And to be clear, you're going to write your essay as an adult using the Common App prompts. We don't ask our professional clients to pretend to be high school students. So whether you need help with the entire essay coaching process or you just need some support with one aspect, writing an essay is a game changer. Maybe you're like one of our participants who asked, is there a way to brainstorm personal statement topics such that the result isn't formulaic? That doesn't result in a 5-paragraph essay about personal growth and how that lesson was applied. The answer is yes. Or maybe you're more like some of our other participants who are confident about brainstorming. Jenny said this when she registered for our webinar. I'm very good at helping students come up with a topic. However, I need help getting them to the finish line. I also saw a lot of comments like Danny's who said, I'm just starting out. I just want to listen. So maybe one of these sounds like you. For an example of the magic behind writing an essay and why we're still excited about the college essay experience, even after taking 650 of our colleagues through the program, 650 of your colleagues, let me tell you about Amy McVeigh. If you don't already know Amy, you should. Amy is an amazing businesswoman with a thriving practice. She came to us years ago, more than a decade ago, with a problem. What was her problem? She knew she needed a process. Amy is a process person. She's also a very savvy business owner. And she knew there was no reason to reinvent the wheel. She figured someone must have a handle on this essay coaching business. And she was right. She did her research and she decided to go with the WOW method. She wrote an essay with us. She wrote an essay with me. Back then, we were tiny. We didn't have all these other coaches. And light bulbs went off right and left. As she said at the time, this experience was foundational for me. It changed the way I think and work. So today, Amy is a college admissions expert. UC Berkeley tapped her to develop its entire college counseling curriculum. Many of you have probably learned from her and been in her classes. Each time a new consultant joins her team, they write an essay with a WOW coach. Amy had a business to grow. She did not need to waste her time creating a great process from scratch because she knows how. She used ours as the basis for hers. I see someone said, I'm taking Amy's class right now. Absolutely. She's the best. And I consider her a friend and a colleague. I've learned a lot from her. And part of the way we've developed our training is by taking really savvy colleagues through it and finding out what else they need. So Amy's been one of those people all the way around. So for those of you who don't know much about us, I'm Susan Napo. I'm CEO here at WOW. For more than 30 years, I've been a professional writer and teacher. We are also fortunate to have 4 fabulous writing coaches on our team. Joe Kane in the bottom left, Shannon Yarborough, bottom middle, Aaron Hubman in the top, and David Bursell in the bottom right. We are writing coaches who are obsessed with helping IECs and counselors and tutors and writing coaches and writing specialists, whatever you want to call yourself, specialists around the world help students write more effective application essays. Our goal is to get everybody in this business to understand that writing an essay with a WOW coach is the key to becoming a stronger, more confident essay coach yourself. I can confidently say that the college essay experience will help you take what you know and apply it more effectively. We have seen it again and again and again and again. We have worked with some of the most amazing, dedicated professionals, some of the top names in this industry, even former admissions reps and folks who not only worked in but created counseling programs in their high schools. They have gone through our training. We've been honored to help independent business owners improve their practices and school counselors strengthen their counseling offices. We've helped test prep experts become college essay coaches and taught English teachers the difference between college essays and other types of writing in a respectful and learning oriented manner. We stay up to date on everything in this industry, from new types of essay prompts to AI tools and shortcuts. We love our work. And we want more people to get the benefit of what we know. More counselors and teachers and IECs and tutors helping more students. That's the dream. Why do we train our colleagues? I don't need to build a huge business with hundreds of coaches who work with all the students. I want you to be the experts. I want to teach you to be the expert. And we work with students too. We do. Kids from every corner of the globe, from Long Island and Silicon Valley and London and Chicago and Manhattan and Kiev and Madrid, students from big cities and tiny towns, students from the East Coast, the West Coast, everywhere in between, including our own little corner of Southeast Michigan. We're based in Detroit. Any type of student or family you have ever met, we have worked with them too. So when people say, well, my practice is different or my school is different, I say, we've been there. We've been there alongside you, and we can teach you how to use what you know and do it even better. So Robin asked a question we hear all the time. What makes your coaching distinctive? Well, I know many of you have tried other training, and I can say with great confidence that ours is better. You will learn more, and most importantly, you'll be able to apply what you've learned from day one. Remember, I am a teacher and a trainer and a learning expert from way back. Everything we do here at WOW is instructionally sound. I'm not going to name names, but I know many of you use our competitors' brainstorming materials. You might even have spent some time in their workshops. And while I will not tell you not to use what you've learned, I will say that starting with someone else's brainstorming exercises and then getting access to a bunch of online resources, it's not a process and it's not training. I'll be honest. There's a lot of competition out there, which is why we have to be different and 10 times better. So who are we competing against? Hotshot essay coaches who look and sound good. It's fun to listen to them. They're entertaining. But I can assure you that we have a replicable process. We show you how to guide students through the essay, and we explain why our methods work. They don't. They throw tips and gimmicks at you. I have seen them all. I'm on all of their mailing lists. Maybe they say write an essay, but do they take you through a process with a professional coach? No. Maybe they match you up with a colleague. That's not what we do. We give you a trained coach, someone who has many, many years of experience to guide you through our process. And if you're from a school, forget it. Other companies will come to your school, they'll entertain your students, they'll give you a bunch of freebies. I know there's a lot of their stuff is incorporated into some of the platforms you use. It sounds good. I know how to do that too. I'm a very good entertaining presenter. I've done it with conference rooms and auditoriums full of students and classrooms all the time. But I don't actually do that anymore. Why not? Because a big event with a representative from a college essay company gets your students started. But then what? How do you continue the process and keep everything aligned? Sending students on their way to take whatever they need from a free website, it doesn't save you time later. It feels good, but it doesn't actually do anything. I'm into real learning. I'm into applicable learning. When you sign up for the College Essay Experience, you get a one-on-one coaching with a trained WOW coach. You are not just a stop on a presentation tour. So who else are we competing against? Well, English professors, essay readers, retired editors, Aunt Julie, who taught high school English for 30 years, Cousin Brad, who graduated from Yale, books and websites full of examples and essay formats, AI tools that claim to guide students through the essay writing process. I can talk about that for hours. I am not opposed to AI. I'm a big fan. But they haven't quite nailed it yet. It's not a substitute for you becoming a stronger essay expert. And let's not forget essay review services. They treat your students like they're all the same. Their staff have the same credentials as my coaches, but they don't go through anything even remotely like our training. So imagine the same essay arrived from two different students. One put their heart and soul into it, and the other whipped it off in an hour. Both students would get the same feedback from an essay review service because those folks who are looking at the essay, they're looking at an essay. They're not looking at a student. Essays do not show up separately from the students who write them. So how do you resist these seemingly easy answers? We are all too busy. Easy is so tempting. Well, actually, our difference makes things easier. Systems, replicable processes, problem-solving strategies, a proven, tested 10-step process combined with dead simple technology platform. We help you harness your strengths. We assume you are smart and capable. You are qualified. You can do this. So here's the sales part of the webinar. Don't worry, we're going to be writing in just a moment. I can promise you that the college essay experience will help you feel calmer, more organized, and more in control. I can promise that our process combined with the WOW platform will save you time and money. You'll make back every penny you spend on this. I know it. I've seen it work for years and years and years. This is how we train our coaches. Everyone on our team wrote their own essay with a trained coach before we let them work with a single student. This is how we've trained scores of professionals over the years. More than 650 of your peers have already gone through CEE. You deserve to feel good about your essay coaching process. And while we love our freebies and they're not going away, to get real lasting results, you have to invest. And there's a big discount if you sign up today because we're 100% certain that the college essay experience can help you. And we don't want you to miss out. So more on that later. So what does it mean to write your own essay? I keep saying you're going to write your own essay. It means you'll get to work with one of our amazing coaches one-on-one. You'll do all the pre-work and writing exercises that our students do. You'll experience the process from the inside out. You'll see that, yes, it is actually possible to write a Common App personal statement from brainstorm to final draft in 4 weeks or less. You'll get all of our proprietary email templates and writing exercises with detailed instructions to use as you see fit. You'll have access to our amazing technology through the Partners Program if you want to join us. And best of all, you'll become part of a community of professionals who really get it. Look for the WOW stamp of approval from your colleagues on their websites, on their emails. If it says certified essay coach, they've already done this. They speak our language and they understand what you're going to learn as well. So who's ever operated this way, right? You grab ideas here and there, you patch together your process, you make it up as you go along, and you kind of know it works, but you're not always sure why, and sometimes it doesn't. So people who write an essay with WOW understand essay coaching. They know the secrets. The WOW method is the most effective process out there because we've spent 16 years perfecting it. Day after day, we get calls and questions, brainstorming, essay reviews. For many, it's not knowing what to do after reading that messy draft or how to deal with worried parents who give their children less than helpful advice. Whatever your challenge, we have solutions. And it starts with the college essay experience. When you write your essay during our training, all the bits and pieces you've gathered from us over the years will fall into place in the most amazing way. And your students will be calmer and more confident too. And that is something we all need. Even if you're one of those people who knows that sometimes or usually or occasionally your current process works, that tells me you're not entirely in control. Or maybe part of your process is amazing, but other parts not so great. You need to understand how and why things work, and how and why sometimes they don't. That's what we teach. And it starts with the college essay experience. We'll teach you to harness the best of who you already are and what you're good at, and then use those strengths to supercharge your process. We also want to teach you how to make great decisions in every situation and how to know when it's time to let go. That's why I emphasize the importance of understanding why we do what we do. Even the greatest AI tools are no substitute for your good judgment. So behind everything we do are the three secrets of ethical essay coaching. Theme matters more than topic. Reviewing is simple if you know what to look for. And every exercise, meeting, and email has a purpose. So let's start with secret number one. Theme matters more than topic. What do I mean by theme? I mean that the student starts with a deep understanding of what they're going to write about and why they chose that topic. Doesn't matter if they're writing a Common App personal statement, a supplement, a UCPIQ, they will know both what happened, what they're writing about, and why it matters, or what that topic illustrates about them. When you write an essay with us, you will spend a lot of time focusing on theme. It is the foundation of an effective personal statement and any other kind of essay. Without it, the essay doesn't work, and the essay coaching process goes off the rails. So Sammy and others all asked about how we start, how to generate essay ideas with students, especially those who think they have nothing interesting to write about. Well, we have something better for you, something even more valuable than a great topic. We will teach you how to help students establish a theme. It's your compass. It is what will keep you focused and what will keep them focused. If you think about theme and start with what the student wants readers to learn about them, then you can help them find a story that illustrates those characteristics. A unique story is not the point. A great topic isn't the point. Every single student can establish a theme. We have worked with so many students. They can do this. Any kind of student can do this. Sometimes you have to modify your instructions, but they can do this. And when you start here, you are successful as you move through. So a lot of other companies out there will say they can teach you how to help your students find the perfect, unique, standout topic. They'll say they can teach you to get your students to dig deep. Have you ever asked why that's necessary? Have you ever asked an admissions officer? Because I have. How many 17-year-olds do you know who want to bare their souls? Especially since that isn't what admissions officers are looking for. We ask them all the time and they tell us unique is not what they're after. Kids are kids are kids. They have similar experiences. The essay, what is it really about? It's about who they are, not what they've done. The application is full of what they've accomplished. The essay is an opportunity to share who they are beyond what they've done. So Lucy had an excellent question. She said, how do you work with students who have no or few ideas for a topic? I'm looking for more ideas on how to elicit information. Our answer, keep your questions simple. Instead of worrying about questions or miraculous exercises that will unlock reticent students, start by helping them understand the prompt. It's right here on the screen in the instructions for the Common App. What do you want the readers of your application to know about you apart from courses, grades, and test scores? Choose the option that best helps you answer that question. I'm going to tell you, there are no magic brainstorming exercises, friends, but there is curiosity and a willingness to be surprised. The key is understanding the prompt and helping the student establish a theme for their essay before they start writing. In most cases, I have seen this over and over and over again, once students understand what this task is all about, they relax. And a relaxed student is a lot easier to work with than a stressed one. Lower the stakes, you'll get better results. And the best brainstorming question, it isn't even a question, it's a statement. Tell me more. Tell me more about how that story illustrates your fill in the blank, your resilience, your problem solving skills, your determination. Tell me more about the room where this all happened. Tell me more about how you responded. I assure you, be curious, and your students will find effective topics. They're not stuck because you didn't ask them enough questions. They're stuck because they're nervous. Calm them, calm yourself. Once they understand the task, they can do this. If you keep the overall instructions in mind, all of these options point to the same thing. Who are you? Not what have you done. That's why theme is such a brilliant concept, if I do say so myself. It reminds you and your students to focus on both what happened, the story, the topic, and why it matters, the characteristics it illustrates. Mark asked a question we hear all the time. How do you get students to focus on suggested uncommon topics rather than their preferred mundane and common ones? It's a great question, but I want to unpack it before I answer. What makes any of us think a student needs an uncommon topic? I don't mean to dismiss the question. It's a great question because I get it all the time. We all want our students to stand out. That's part of what we do, right? We want to help them. But the best way to help students stand out, make sure they understand the prompt and focus on theme. Help them identify why they want to tell a particular story, why they want to share something about themselves. And that way, that will be interesting and meaningful. I have seen this approach work too many times to count. You will experience it yourself when you write your essay with a wow coach. Participants are astonished. They say, I thought this topic wasn't any good. I didn't know where I was going with this. And then they're amazed. They love their essays. Now, loving their essays is not really the point of the training, but it illustrates this point. You need an effective topic. You need a topic that works. And there are criteria that we teach you to determine if a topic will work. Once you have that in hand, the rest of it is not that hard. So let me share an example to explain what I mean about theme and brainstorming. A while back, we met Susan Gentry, counselor at the First Academy in Orlando. She wrote an essay with a WOW coach, and she loved it. She had already taken an essay coaching workshop through another company, but it didn't help her. She said the program felt really generous. She got tip sheets and exercises and videos and sample essays, but that giant pile of resources, it didn't add up to a process. When she was done, Susan had no idea what to do. When the training was over, she said, I was terrified and felt like I was drowning. In contrast, she felt relieved and empowered after writing her own essay through CEE, College Essay Experience, with her coach's guidance. She found it easy to follow the 10 steps and finish her personal statement in less than 4 weeks. Susan knew she could apply what she learned to a group workshop for her school. And some of you asked, do we have options for group workshops? The answer is yes. You can apply what you learn in sort of a DIY fashion, or for those who join our partners program, totally different thing. We have an actual curriculum. We give you step by step by step what to do, minute by minute by minute. But first you have to learn it in CEE. We've done this. Susan did this. Many, many, many of our colleagues have done this, have taken what they learned and created group workshops because they know how to help students work more effectively and efficiently. Before CEE, Susan's students wrote about what they considered important experiences, including very descriptive pieces about sports injuries. How many of us have seen those? By her own account, she then fixed the essays more than helping her students write stronger ones. So she had them write, then she took what she had, and she fixed them. After CEE, she implemented the WOW method in a group workshop format in her school, and that's why she was successful. Her students started out with themes for their essays. Those essays were so much better from the beginning, and we taught her how to review. That's the magic of theme. It builds confidence for students, it saves time for counselors, and it helps everyone feel good about what they're doing. Susan and Amy are also successful because they get secret number 2. Whether you're an independent consultant like Amy with lots of time to help every student, or a school counselor like Susan, or a test prep expert who does a little college essay coaching on the side, or you're an essay specialist who only works on essays, trying to keep tabs on dozens of students, whatever your case is, you have 5 students or you have 50 students or 500 students, this secret is transformative. Reviewing is simple if you know what to look for. So many of you asked about editing. I especially like this question. What strategies do you use to help students maintain their authentic voice while also improving their writing? If that's your question too, this is the secret you need to understand. The way we approach essay reviews can completely change how you think about your role, parent engagement, brainstorming, and everything else. For real, if you think about reviewing the way the WOW method suggests, it changes your focus. For those of you who are professional and editors, this one's for you because you need to keep in mind that essay reviews and editing are not the same thing. I'll say it again. Essay reviews and editing are not the same thing. Our difference is that we know exactly where we are in the process, which means focusing on content first, always. Remember, we're coaches, we're not editors. We don't have to know from the start where the essay should go or how it should flow. We do not need an outline. I can teach you to do this. We believe it is our job to help students make strong editorial choices, and that builds student confidence. We point out where the content is thin or where the essay slows down, and we give students writing exercises to help them address those issues. When you write your essay, we'll share those exercises with you and show you how and when to use them with your students. And you will see how empowering it is, both as the writer and as the coach gives you guidance. So here are the 10 steps of the WOW method. To get the most from our tips and writing exercises, you always need to know where you are in the process. That's how you know what to comment on and what to let go of when you're reviewing an essay. Content is steps 1 through 6. Structure is steps 7 and 8. Polish, steps 9 and 10. Accountability and flexibility are both built into our process, and you'll see them in action when you write your essay. We tell our students exactly what they need to do, how long it will take, and when it's due, in bite-sized pieces. Even procrastinators get their work done. Even kids with ADHD, even kids with dyslexia, kids with all sorts of anxieties and learning challenges. It works for those who confidently hit every deadline and those who need extra reassurance. And for the small percentage who really, really don't stay on track or can't, we have the time and energy to help them. When everyone is not an exception, you can really work with the exceptions. The rest of them tend to go through the process relatively smoothly. Knowing where you are in the process makes reviews so much simpler because you know exactly what you're looking for every step of the way. If a student has a weak opening in draft 1, that's step 5, their first draft. We ignore it till step 7 when we get to structure. Yeah, because that first draft, it's step 5, that's a content step. If their spelling is weak, we wait till step 9 to address it because step 9 is a polish step. Truthfully, many problems work themselves out. We focus on content first and then look at structure, followed by polish. You can learn to do this too. And when you learn how and when to get involved in a student's essay and when to step back, everything changes for you and the student. My next example is from Nancy Wigley, who works with students in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'll always remember one of the first things Nancy told me when we met more than 10 years ago. She wasn't getting enough sleep during college application season. Nancy was already a well-respected independent counselor with a history of working with students who ended up at top colleges. Still, she found the college essay process daunting. No matter what she did, how many hours she poured into sessions with her students, the results were the same. Far too many weak, ineffective essays. Now, I want to stop there. This is 10 years ago. So for those who say, oh my gosh, kids can't write now, or the essays are terrible, this has always been the case. People have always said this. Whether true, not true, doesn't matter. The reasons for that changes. The reasons change. But the feeling that the essays aren't strong enough and that we need to help improve them, I've been hearing that as long as I've been doing this work. It doesn't mean that's not true. It means that the person who's working with the student doesn't know how to help them get there more effectively, more efficiently, more confidently without over editing. So Nancy said, I'm so stressed. She had too many weak, ineffective essays. She was stressed. Her students were stressed. Her parents were stressed. She said, I knew there had to be a better, easier, clearer way. She loved brainstorming. And in her words, she said she could always uncover the inner jewel that makes a student stand out. But she spent way too much time trying to create custom solutions for every challenge. Her process was piecemeal, patched together from tips and exercises she picked up from colleagues at conferences, from other resources. None of the tools were designed to work on their own, and they didn't work that well together. Nancy's life as an essay coach turned around dramatically after she wrote her own essay with a WOW coach. Much to her surprise, she faced some of the same issues as her students: the uncertainty of having a good enough topic, the pressure of feeling judged, and the added uncertainty of not knowing when it was done. She also experienced the pride our students feel when they finished. She followed the instructions, trusted the process, and she wrote a beautiful essay. It was genuine, it was insightful, it answered the prompt. It was a story centered on planning a week's worth of wardrobe choices for her son's college graduation. She demonstrated that she likes to be prepared and she pays careful attention to details. The experience gave Nancy insight and so much clarity about the essay and her role in the writing and coaching process. All these years later, I still remember that essay. And every time I see her, I wonder what terrific outfit she'll be wearing because I remember that's what she wrote about. I also have seen her so much as a planner and someone who pays attention to detail, which is exactly what she conveyed in her essay. As she told us afterwards, going through the process myself helped with my empathy and patience for my students. I've learned to let go of the ownership. The essay is the student's. It's not up to me, but up to the student. I am now able to step back and let the 17-year-old's essay be just that. So we've covered secrets number 1 and number 2. How about number 3? Every exercise, meeting, and email has a purpose. I'm going to show you what this means when we do a little bit of writing, so stay with me. When you approach the essay coaching process with intention, you can handle just about anything. Remember I said you'd be able to review more easily, brainstorm more confidently, manage all sorts of situations? Part of that comes from knowing what to do and when and why. You don't get as distracted by the noise. It's funny. School counselors are often concerned that our method requires too much one-on-one guidance, while many independents and tutors wonder if we spend too little time with our students. I get it, so let me explain. In CEE, we teach an approach, a mindset, and it includes writing exercises and email templates along with guidelines for brainstorming and essay reviews. Our 10-step process is not automated. It's streamlined, it's focused, it's strategic. But you, the coach, still provide whatever personalized individual attention fits your philosophy and circumstances. We give you a framework. For example, when we discuss topics with our students, we make sure they can articulate the essay's theme both out loud and in writing before they write a first draft. If they get off track, we can bring them back with some careful questions or writing exercises. We do not send our students off to just write something and then respond. Every exercise has a purpose. Every discussion has a purpose. It keeps all of us focused. So whether you use our process exactly the way we do, holding just one in-person meeting, or you run through multiple steps in a group workshop, as many school counselors and teachers do, or you meet with your students one-on-one on a regular basis, you can apply our approach. We encourage that. Like I said before, it's not a cookie cutter method. You are the decision maker. We teach you a framework for making those decisions. Like I said, every exercise, meeting, and email has a purpose, and they are not hard to learn. As an example, let me tell you about Stacy Kunitz, who says writing an essay with a WOW coach was life-changing. She's not the only one who has used those words, life-changing, and kind of takes my breath away and changed your life. It does change because it changes the way you think of yourself in the essay coaching process. Stacy did not sweat the college essay too much when she worked with just a few students as a high school counselor. She was at a small private high school in Philadelphia. As she told us, my non-process worked well until my caseload began to grow. She's an IEC, she's a certified educational planner, she's a former English teacher. Stacy had been using a variety of resources and worksheets and tips she'd picked up. She knew she needed more to grow her private business, which is why she turned to us for professional development. When she retired from her school counseling job to focus on her private practice, she considered CEE to be an investment in her business. Stacy has basically superimposed WOW's step-by-step structure into her process, and as a result, she's more organized and she can get students to the finish line more easily. Essays weren't hard for her. She's a great writer. She was an English teacher, but she needed the structure of our 10 steps as an overlay to help her make sure she could get all her students through in a timely manner. My approach was very intuitive, is what she told us. She said, but I didn't have a good system for bringing kids through the essay process. My natural instinct was well aligned with Wild's philosophical approach, and doing the CEE program reinforced it. At first, Stacy thought she needed a process only to get reluctant writers through the college essay with more ease. But after writing her own essay through CEE, she realized that this process would work with every type of student, not just her challenging ones. So, to show you what I mean about secret number 3, you need to see it in action. It's time to write, just for a couple minutes. So, some of you may have done this exercise before. Some of you may have tried it with your students, but I bet that you don't understand why it works. There's a lot of setup and follow-up. This is a sample page from our online tools. It's the introduction to morning writing, finding your voice. When you go through the college essay experience, you'll see this page and lots of other pages like it. The format and instructions are completely consistent. Every one of our 10 steps includes a video, which is 30 to 90 seconds, a brief reading, and a writing exercise. It should take 20 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the task. Most are more on the 20-minute side. When you write your essay, you'll read this webpage. It talks about audience and purpose and the components of a writing voice. At the bottom of the page, you'll see a box that says try it, and that button leads to instructions for the writing exercise. For our purposes, I'm going to give you the instructions out loud, but when you write your essay with a WOW coach, you'll see them on the page. And I will be sharing those instructions at the end of today's webinar, so stick around. Get ready to write. This is free writing. I don't want you to think. I don't want you to plan. I don't want you to read what you've written. Just get as much sensory detail down as possible. You can use the chat box, and when I'll tell you to stop, you just press send. If you can't figure that out, you can write by hand. You can type in a document. I will not comment on your work. No one's going to review it and give you any feedback. I just want you to write. Use all of your senses. What did you do this morning from the time you woke up? Go. Okay, wrap up the sentence you're on or the idea you're on. Stop. Submit it into the chat if you are so inclined. Now I want you to look for anything that screams me. It doesn't matter. Something that sounds like you, a phrase you use, a thought that comes to mind a lot, anything like that. Anything at all. Now you did that for a minute. I let you write for a minute. For students, we do that for 10 minutes and they relax. It's a very simple opening warm-up exercise. And it gives us a taste of what they sound like when they're not trying to impress anyone. Now, sometimes when we give this to people, they are tempted to try it with their students and tell them which characteristics to emphasize or to give them a different prompt. I just gave you the tiniest taste of what it feels like to be a student. We keep it really simple. And it also gives you a taste of what it feels like to be a coach, by which I mean we give you just-in-time instructions, like just at the moment you need them. When you overcorrect or overprepare the student, you risk polishing out that voice because they're trying to accomplish something. You all did it right, no matter how you did it. Like students, I didn't tell you why. I didn't tell you what I was going to do with it. I just told you what to do, so we don't overthink. Now, some of you have done it before, but it only really works if you think about why and how. Why does it work? Because you already have a voice. It works because I need to know if you can write freely. We're going to need that later for another exercise once you're really writing an essay. Why does it work? Because I will ask you to free write, and because I want to be able to tell if adults messed with their work. I want to know. I'm going to go back to this sample, and I tell them, well, your real writing is going to be much more polished than this, but this is what you sound like when you're not trying to impress anyone. So at the end of today's webinar, I'm going to share the link to download the instructions for this exercise I just gave you, along with context and an explanation of how and why it works. It's 4 pages. Yes, 4 pages for this little 10-minute exercise. That's how thorough we are. So many of you asked to learn more about CEE before making a commitment, and I totally understand because there are huge benefits to writing an essay with us. Here's why you should do it. When you write your own essay, you gain incredible insight into what students go through. You learn where to focus your energy and what to leave alone. Having clear steps to follow or exercises to use in specific ways helps you focus when you're busy. It helps keep the 85% of students who do the work and listen to you on track so you can save your energy for those who need the extra boost and the extra attention. Our platform is incredibly easy to navigate. When you work with your coach, you'll have very specific instructions, clear deadlines, everything you need to succeed. We'll give you a week to do pre-work, 3 weeks to write your essay, and another week to absorb it all and review what you've done. And then we'll send you a 70-page resource packet with all of the writing exercises, all of the email templates, and review guidelines and other tips. You may decide to use it with your students, use the actual platform. It's a different program, but we'll tell you more about that another day. You might decide to just DIY it and make your own tools out of what you develop with us. That's fine. No matter what you decide, you'll have tremendous insight into how an effective essay coaching process works. You'll have all the writing exercises and email templates too. And one more thing for everyone, especially school counselors who asked if going through CE will help you run a group workshop and help students in a limited time frame, the answer is yes. It doesn't matter who you are. You're a school counselor, you're an independent consultant, you're an English teacher, you're a tutor, you're a writing coach, you're an editor, it doesn't matter. Whether you've been a scientist, you have tons of experience, you have little experience. If you get secret number 3 and you understand that every exercise, meeting, and email has a purpose, anyone can do this. And you can use it with any kind of students. Thousands and thousands and thousands of students have written their essays this way. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of counselors and IECs and tutors and writing experts have been trained. It really works. Some of you shared that you have trouble getting students motivated to write essays that are meaningful to them. We got questions like this one. How do you work with reluctant students who say they have no experience worth sharing? How do you get them to write? As I said before, we lower the stakes and we get better results. Students often feel pressured to find unusual things to write about. Instead, we ask them questions to help them find meaningful topics, even if they don't know exactly if that's what they're going to do until write about until they've chosen one. And once they're done, their essays are one of a kind. Writing an essay with a WOW coach will show you that it is possible to keep moving through the process, maintaining momentum, even when students lack confidence or slow down. And that experience keeps them focused when they move on to write additional essays as well. Sure, we talk about these principles in our free pro chats and when I am at a conference or other, on a webinar, but until you see them in action, you will not entirely understand what we're talking about. If you read our books, attend every free session, read every weekly email, you will certainly gain a lot. But if you truly, truly want to apply what you're learning, you have to write your own essay. You will learn so much more when you write an essay with us. I cannot begin to tell you how different it is to experience this from the inside out with one of our coaches. Now, I'm sure some of you are not convinced. I hear this all the time. I have this amazing brainstorming process. My students complete a values exercise, and we talk about ideas and then, and I say, well, why do you do all that? And they say, well, it works. I like getting to know them. And I say, well, I like getting to know my students too. But have you ever tried cutting back on all that? It's a lot of effort. You're wearing out your students before they even start. Do you see the unintended consequences of what you're doing? You're making the topic too high stakes. And when we do that, we're stressing out already stressed kids. And then they spend 10 weeks finishing their essays, right? They start, they stop, they start, they stop, they finish, they miss their deadlines. Not good. I have this conversation with colleagues all the time, and then they try our way. I say, just give our way a try. Just do the training, give it a shot with a couple students, and they are shocked. Because guess what? It works. My students, they have just as much success as theirs. They get into all the top universities, all the little liberal arts colleges. They all get into good schools. And I am more relaxed. And my coaches get to take their weekends and go on vacations. And my students do their homework. I'm telling you, trust us, this works. Less is more. And I can help you learn which part is the right part to do. I'll be honest. Several people ask specific questions about a very specific competitor. People want to know, how are you different? What do you think of this company? And I'm not going to badmouth the competition, but I will say this. You want to know how we're different? We give you what you need when you need it. We don't give you everything all at once because you can't use it. It's too hard. Like I said, I'm a learning expert. I know how people learn. I know how students learn. I know how adults learn. It's how we train you. We give you the tools you need so you can make good decisions for your unique students. No gimmicks, no tricks. Our method just works. It goes well beyond standard structures and endless brainstorming exercises. It teaches you to use what you've learned to apply it to any situation with any type of student writing any type of essay. And AI, I could talk for another hour on AI, and I have. If you're curious about that, I'll send you the recordings. When you have a solid process, it doesn't matter what distractions come up. We take AI seriously, but when a student understands what a theme is and why it's at the center of a college essay, they realize that AI can't really help with that. And if you're trying to incorporate it into your process, the 10 steps of the WOW method will still keep you on track, even if you're using AI tools yourself. So you've been wondering about pricing and timing and logistics, right? Lots of you asked about that when you registered, and here's all the information you've been writing for. Regarding the writing exercises and email templates, you'll receive them from your coach while you write your essay. And then when your training ends, we'll send you the resource packet with all of them as documents you can use as you see fit. And when we update that packet, you get the new materials. You also get a badge to put on your website noting that you are a trained and certified WOW coach because you deserve the recognition. You're going to work hard. You will go through the college essay experience and write an essay just like a student, but then you can put on your professional hat and reflect on how to use everything you've learned. And remember, you will be writing as yourself now. We don't ask you to pretend that you're 17 and applying to college. Some of you wanted to know, how does it work if you want us to train a group of school counselors or IECs? We love doing that. We really do that all the time. We help a practice get stronger. We help a school group get stronger. Everyone writes their own essay, and then I run a series of private wrap-up sessions with your group at no extra charge. Our goal is to help your team work seamlessly together. So if that's something you're interested in, the easiest way is just to sign up separately and let me know, or just reach out to me. I can send you, if you need a purchase order for your school, whatever you need, we can supply it. And if you're looking for continuing education credits, you just send us the criteria you need and we can provide the documentation. But don't delay. Last year, many sessions sold out within hours of this webinar, and I want you to get the seat you want. Registration is first come, first serve, so we encourage you to sign up ASAP. The early sessions always fill quickly. First one's already going on right now, so it's full. We do have space in our next two sessions in February, so if that's what you're interested in, we suggest that you grab those now. After you register, you'll fill out a form to request the dates that work for you. We do our best to give you your first choice. Most of the time we can. But the training schedule is tight and focused with time for prep and reflection. A week for pre-work, 3 weeks to write your essay, a week to review resources and participate in the wrap-up webinar. When the program fills, it's full. And when it's over, that's it till next year. In order to offer the one-on-one attention you deserve, we limit the number of trainees our coaches can take at a time. Don't delay. If you think you might want to join us, please sign up, especially if you want your first choice of training groups. I will not be offended if you stop listening and go to our website to grab a spot. Here's part of a sample schedule so you can see how it works. We tell you everything, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. You will start and end the training at the same pace as everyone else in your group, but you won't be in a group class. Everything is personal, one-on-one with your coach. The final webinar is with the others in your session, and that's it. And then you get a final private meeting with your coach again to reflect and talk about how to apply what you've learned. So what'll it be? The old approach with the old results, or the WOW approach with the WOW results? So I've addressed many of your questions throughout this webinar. If you have other questions, please put them in the chat. I will stay here online. I will stay here, and as long as you have questions, I will answer them. Although I do respect your time, and so if you need to go at the top of the hour, I understand. So here's what we're selling. Spend $11.50, give us 15 hours over the course of 4 weeks, work with one of our amazing coaches, write a Common App type essay, but from an adult's perspective. A few people specifically asked about the return on investment, and I do appreciate that. I'm a business owner as well. And while I can't give you a precise dollar figure, I can tell you this. If you do this, you'll be better prepared to help your students because you will understand the process of writing the essay. You'll be able to keep more of your money if you're an independent. You'll keep more of your time, regardless of whether you work in a school or you work independently. You won't have to give away your essays to essay mills or other companies to review them. If you hire others to work on essays with you, you will understand what you are asking them to do. I have done this with many, many, many people who run businesses who either don't work on essays themselves or don't work on very many essays, but they can supervise more effectively. You'll know more, so if you hire it out, you're going to supervise it, and you will know you'll be able to have a more peaceful season. And if you need documentation, like I said, for professional development, continuing education, we'll give you what you need. This is more, it is better, it is different. If you've already read our book or joined us every month for every pro chat, you're on your way to more insight and we'll get even more from this experience. If you've heard me speak at a conference, in a webinar, or on a podcast, this will make perfect sense. And finally, you'll be eligible for a big discount on our partners program where we'll tell you more about what happens next. But for now, I just want you to write the essay. It doesn't matter who you are. We've worked with schools and independents, solo practitioners, growing companies, people who consider themselves skilled writers, and folks who find the blank page completely overwhelming. If you just joined a school, opened your own practice, or you're taking the UC course, you recently finished your certification, you're in for a treat. Those are fantastic programs, but they don't spend a lot of time on the essay. And if you supervise a group or hire out your essay coaching to a contractor, CEE is exactly what you need. If you register by Monday, we got some bonuses for you. You will get private coaching call. You'll get 2 brainstorming webinars. You will get 2 essay review webinars and a $300 discount. And for sticking around to the end, the first 10 people to sign up today, Wednesday, January 14th, will get a free college essay consult with me. That's worth $300. First 10 people to sign up today get a free consult. And you get the freebie just for being here today. The link and QR code are coming up in a moment. If you don't catch it, send us an email, let us know. Now, you might still be wondering if this is for you. If you think you're still building the business, you're not sure if you need it, don't worry. This is going to get you started on the right foot. If you say, maybe it's too expensive for me, I'm saying make an investment in you. Strengthen your business. We do professional development too. I do professional development. I pay people to help me learn new things. This is an investment in you. If you say it's too structured, you like to do your own thing, cool. Apply what you learn. Discard the rest. This hard way, this is time consuming. It's exhausting. The smart way, write an essay with a wow coach. You're an expert at so many things, I'm sure. Why reinvent the wheel here? Remember Amy? She knew we were the best. Her business is solid. She's in great shape. She feels in control of the essay process, and she has taken what she learned from us and made it her own. Remember Nancy? She was doing well. Her kids were getting into top schools, but she felt frazzled when it came to essays. It's not that her students weren't doing great or weren't writing strong essays. It was just sucking the life out of her. You deserve to feel in control. When we thought about training our colleagues, we realized we had 2 options. We could have tried option 1. We could have thrown everything in a big box and called it all the resources you need. That approach feels generous. We would have sold a lot of boxes. But what are you going to do with all that stuff? How do you figure out what you need and when? Option 2 requires some time and thought, but you're smart and resourceful. It does require an investment. So you have 2 choices too. Do nothing, continue grabbing stuff here and there, patch together a process, or invest in your professional development. Take control of your time, increase your confidence, get more sleep. Sign up today and we promise you will learn how to brainstorm more quickly, review with ease, spend less time on essays, get better results, manage parent expectations, and take control. So I want you to go to this page right now. Sign up. You'll go to a page that'll ask you to choose your dates. You'll receive confirmation, and then you can sit back and relax, knowing you've set yourself up for a much better season in 2026. Sign up by midnight Monday, and you're going to get $550 worth of freebies. A private coaching call after your training, 2 brainstorming webinars, 2 essay review webinars, a $300 discount. Sign up by midnight tonight and get everything I already mentioned, plus a scheduling template to use with students that's worth $50. And be one of the first 10 to sign up right now today and get a free college essay consult with me. That's worth another $300. I don't spend a lot of free time with other folks. I try hard. I value my time. I have lots of meetings and lots of conversations, but a $300 consult, it's very valuable. So sign up now. What have you got to lose? We guarantee it's worth it. And as a thank you for staying till the end, be sure to download the instructions for our morning writing activity we did together. The link is right here. I see that there are a couple of other questions in the chat. Says, thank you very much. It's been great to be with you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy and participating and all of your questions. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you. I'm going to put the link back for the morning writing so that you can see it again. There you go. This is the Writing Voice morning writing activity that I shared before. And if for some reason you don't get it, you don't see it, you send me a message, susan@wowwritingworkshop.com, and I will share it with you again. Have a wonderful day, everyone. It's been great to be here with you.